Little bit different today. I thought I'd have us warm up together a little bit. Should I get some more light? Is it too dark in here? It's a little dark. Let's turn on the light. That's what I'm talking about. All right, so I'm going to start with the warm up. The first warm up I do every single day, and this is in my free my essential 10 essential guitar warm-ups course that you can get, link in the descripciones. All right, let's get some volume here. So this is the Michelangelo Badio warm-up. I'm on the telly today because I had rehearsal with Ben C. Jones last night, and this is the guitar I'm using for that band. And I got a lot of work to do. When I was in the studio with them, there were 3 guitar players, plus a keyboard player. When I got to rehearsal last night, I discovered that there's going to be not 2 other guitar players, and no keyboardist. So I have a lot more space to fill than I realized. So what I had prepared for rehearsal, I gotta fill the space a little more. So all this is, and you can get the tabs for this in the course, just if you want to see it written out. I mean, it's pretty simple and straightforward, but basically just doing every finger combination, ascending and descending. All right, somebody's here. What's up? Pop a comment in the chat. Let me know if you're warming up with me or if you got a question. I'm about to be halfway through with my first guitar warm-up for the day. Woo! All right, I'm feeling that. Okay, halfway there. Let's see. Bushan says, hey, can you play Nothing Else Matters? I could play Nothing Else Matters. I could indeed. So I'm doing a warm-up right now for the day. This is part of my 10 warm-ups guitar course, which is free. Link in the description if you want it. If not, you can just do this with me right now. I'm happy to answer any other questions you got as well. Woo! All right. So we've done all of those finger combinations. Now let's go to fingers 2 and 4. Oh, sure. I'm also learning. Right on. Cool. So, Sean, one thing I learned is, especially the older I get, the importance of warming up. I really started doing warm-ups when I was like probably 20, and I'm glad I did, because there's definitely been a few times where I've tried to play without warming up and started to feel some not so pleasant things. So I gotta stretch to make sure that I'm super limber, so when I try to do the crazy stuff, I don't hurt myself. I've never had an injury from playing before, except carpal and cubital tunnel in both hands. Hi says something in another language. Amy Madison says, can you play Paradise City, please? I like how you wrote Paradise, like I'm gonna roll the dice. I could play Paradise City, yes. But am I going to? That's the question. I think I'm going to continue with my warm-ups. Yeah. Oh, I'm burning. I'm feeling it there. Oh, you guys. Awesome. Okay, so that's the first warm-up. That's the Michelangelo Badio warm-up, which I really like. That's in my free course, the 10 Essential Guitar Warm-Ups video course, plus you can get all the tab. That's the link in the description. Totally free if you dig it. Also, this kind of helps me a little bit. So here's where I tend to feel the most pain, or I start to feel like tension. So doing that warm-up in particular, where I'm isolating these two fingers, is super helpful for me. All right, I'm gonna do a little bit of a picking warm-up. These are groups of 5. This came from Lincoln Brewster. So a lot of times people just do the 1, 2, 3, 4. Ultra boring. So I'm gonna do 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, warming up does help with stretching, Bouchon, yes. But I will also stretch separately. But I highly recommend doing like 10 to 15 minutes a day of warm-ups. The main thing for me is when I'm getting stretching. Now, there's a great stretching exercise, and this is also in the course. This comes from Petrucci. The only like 2 of the warm-ups are actually mine. Everything else is just stuff I've curated from over the years. So there's a great finger stretching exercise warm-up that you can do. Now, number 1, I do recommend doing a little bit of stretching. So I like to do this one. Bring those elbows up. Ooh, and I'll feel it right here. I have some tension. I think it's from lifting weights. I've got something going from me getting all big and buff. There's something going on in here. So this stretch actually helps with that as well. Now I'm going to spread the fingers and then turn out. I learned this from like a middle school band student, this stretch, and then turn back in. Oh, baby, I feel that. I feel that a lot. You young folks may not feel anything with these stretches, but it's so good to get in the habit of this. And then I'll do this one. Put your arm completely straight and gently pull back on the fingers. And just hold it for like 10, 15 seconds. And then do it to the other hand as well. Yes, like this. Like this. Someone just jumping on is going to be like, why is he doing talk to the hand? How old this guy? Okay, good. So that one's really good. And then I also like to do this. This was like a, pick this up from Nita Strauss. You like how I name drop all these people that I don't know? So you put your arm out completely straight like that. Try to bring the pinkies back to you and you dip your head the other way. This one, I feel a lot. My traps and my shoulders are usually the tightest from hunching over on the guitar. And you guys that are guitar players probably have more tension in your upper body than you realize from playing. Oh, especially if you're playing more than an hour a day. So these stretches are really, really helpful. So like 2 to 3 minutes of stretching, and then like 10 to 15 minutes of a proper warm-up. I should probably include a video in my free course about stretching, doing a little bit of stretching. Yeah. Anyway, so this John Petrucci stretching exercise goes like this. You go 10, 11, 12, 13 on the first 4 strings, and then you move the index down 1, and then the middle. Those 2 fingers are hard to stretch out. And then 3rd finger comes down, pinky comes down. Then you continue the process. And then, of course, what happens to the frets? The further you go down the fretboard, the spacing gets more. I don't play or practice any Bollywood music, not because I don't like it. I'm just not exposed to a lot here in the United States. I will say, though, movies from India, like Bollywood movies, have started to become like part of the top 10 here in America. I follow the movie business pretty closely. That's like my sports, and that's about as far as I can go with that one, down to the 3rd fret. And let's see. So I follow the movie industry fairly closely, and in the top 10, anytime there's a Bollywood release, it usually makes it into the top 10 here in America. And so that's pretty cool, because I feel like in America, we've always been so America first and obsessed with ourselves and everything we create that we kind of ignore the rest of the world. So it's nice to see that people are getting more into, I'm not really into anime, but seeing how big anime has become, like Japanese culture, and then also like Indian, like Bollywood stuff has become big here. So anyway, so that's the John Petrucci stretch. Once you can do it, plucking them individually and knowing they're all ringing, then you could start strumming it. But you have to know beyond a shadow of a doubt that every single one of those is ringing clearly. And then what I'll do sometimes, you have to be very careful with this, but I'll even have my guitar students do it. Reach over and just gently push apart fingers 2 and 3, just gently, ever so little bitty. And that will help get them kind of used to doing that kind of a stretch. My hands are still cold. I'm actually going to turn on my space heater. I put a space heater by my feet sometimes when I'm having a hard time getting my hands warm. Bhushan says, yeah, Anime 2 got great soundtracks like One Piece, Drums of Liberation, if you've heard. Yeah, my son likes One Piece, but I haven't heard a lot of music. And my daughter's obsessed with Miku. So she's got a whole bunch of Miku statues and listens to her music and draws pictures of her and stuff. All right, let's do, I think I'm going to do my favorite warm-up, which is the Greg Howe arpeggios. And in the free chorus, you've got tab for all of this. This was the first thing Greg Howe ever showed me. Yeah, if you guys have questions, pop them in the chat. All right, I'm gonna do that again, but a little bit faster now. Try to warm up these hands a little bit more. Something's going on with my tone. It's a little too fat. But like not in a good way. I don't know. I'll have to mess with that later. I might just have too much going on. Bhushan says, I'm from India, so warm-ups will be really helpful, irrespective that I play Bollywood music, sometimes Western too. Yeah, I don't think it matters because I know that there's the like Indian scale of music, which is like 16 tones, versus in Western music we have the 12 tone system, right? So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 different notes. And in India, you have like 16, right? But my question is, does that apply to Bollywood music and modern Indian music? Because I've had a few Indian students before, and when we've learned Indian music or Bollywood music, it seems like it's using the 12 tone scale as well. Um, yes and no. Well, what do you mean? Yes and no to which? Rajashri. Sorry, I'm probably mispronouncing that. What's is it? Uh, yes, that Indian music does have 16 tones, or yes, that it has 12. Yeah, they're similar. Yeah, cool. So yeah, whatever. Yeah, so if you do all the same warm ups that I do, I mean, it's all gonna work. Bollywood uses more than 12 tones. Okay, cool. Yeah, so if you got 16, like, but you can still do like a 5 note pattern. Just instead of doing it across 12 notes, you're doing it across 16. Same thing with like arpeggios and scales. Any of those, any warm ups I'm doing, you can easily apply to a 16 tone scale. So like that first warm up I did, where I'm just doing a hammer on from fingers 1 to 2, and then pull offs, and then I'm doing the other finger combinations. 100%, you can do that. Let's do some Steve Vai trills. So I'm gonna get 30 seconds on the board, and I'm just gonna do trills with each finger combination. The cool thing about this warm-up is whether you're a beginner or you've been playing 27 years like me, this will always burn back here. It's like doing a full-on sprint. And I don't care if you're a kid or you're an adult, you full-on sprint for 30 seconds, you're gonna be tired. There it is, there's 30 seconds. All right, so I did fingers 1 and 2, now I'm gonna do fingers 1 and 3. I like to take a little bit of a break in between. Okay, so 30 seconds with this combination. Don't forget to mute all your thicker strings when you're doing this. And if you can't go that fast right now, go slow and just focus on getting a good hammer on and a good pull off. But speed doesn't matter here, just technique and accuracy. Yeah, feeling that. All right, next up we have combination 1 and 4. Who's joining me? Who's got their guitar in hand right now? I want to know. Let me know. Okay, 30 seconds, 4 and 4. Ultra slow. Notice my pinky doesn't come very far off the fretboard. My dog thinks there's an ambulance. Hi, are you using a sustain pedal? No, I'm not. Justin Animation says, hey. No sustain pedal at all. I am using distortion and a compressor, but I could also do this clean. All right, let's do fingers 2 and 3 next. And I'll do it all clean for you, Justin, so you can see that it has nothing to do with sustain. The sustain is coming from the velocity, the power of my finger slamming down on the fretboard. All right, so 30 seconds of 2 and 3. This is a great opportunity to relax, rest the index finger. Let's see. Table Salt says, how do you do a good pull-off? Okay, here's the secret. It's not even really a secret, but here's how you do it. While that note is ringing, all you do, instead of just lifting off the finger, that does nothing. You have to pluck with that finger. So I grab the string with my fretting hand, no picking hand, I don't just lift off the finger, I pull down and pluck with it. Bouchon, nah, done with today's session. I'm just watching though. Okay, cool. Just animation. Wow, that's cool. All right, I'm gonna go back to my lead just because it's easier to get a little more volume. And I'm gonna do fingers 2 and 4. Still resting my index finger. The index finger gets used more than any other finger, so anytime I can give it a break. How long you been playing? Is it too late to learn at 36 years old? No, it's not too late, bro. I've been playing for 27 years. I started when I was 13, about to be 14. And I have taught many adult students to successfully become great at guitar. Okay, I got one last one, and then I'm done. And then I'm gonna start my actual practicing. I may jump back on live later when I'm doing some of my later practicing, but I'm gonna get rid of this so I can totally focus. So one of my students is 75 years old. He's been taking lessons with me for 5 years. I've got another student who's in his upper 60s who's been with me for 8 years. Another student who is in their mid 60s who's been with me. She's been with me for 8 years. I have a student who's about my age. She's in her late 30s. She's been taking lessons with me for 10 years. So she started in like her mid 20s. And yeah, I can't even begin to tell you how many students I've worked with that started as an adult. So why would it be too late to learn when you're 36 years old? Like what is stopping you? The hardest part I think about playing at this stage of life, I'm going to be 40 in a couple weeks. The hardest part is, like for me, I have more responsibilities now. I have a wife, I have 3 kids, I have a dog, I have a mortgage, I have things that I have to take care of, and it can be difficult managing all of those things. But if you can carve out 20 to 30 minutes a day for a guitar, which, let's face it, everybody can, even, if you make it a priority, you can totally do it. It's not easy to get in the habit of doing it, but 100% you can do it at 36. All right, last one. That's really great. Appreciate your work. Cool. Key Grover says place smells like Teen Spirit. All right, maybe I'll play just a bit. Only because I know that song like the back of my hand. Woo! There we go. All right. Smells Like Teen Spirit is... And then the only other part, right, you have this. And then you have the solo. Right, there you go. Smells Like Teen Spirit. Okay, how to train pinky finger. I am not that good and I'm 16. Okay, so to train your pinky, just like exactly what I just did. You just need to spend time isolating the pinky. So doing trills with the pinky. First finger to pinky, like 5th fret to 8th fret. Just focus on slow hammer-ons and pull-offs. And when you're first starting, like, you're not going to get any volume out of it. You're going to be like, why can't I get anything with my pinky? I promise, just keep going. Just keep doing it. Your pinky will get stronger. But if you say, my pinky is weak, I'm going to focus on only my strong fingers, you're missing out. I'm a big believer in the use of the pinky. So then once you do those, do 2 and 4, do 3 and 4, and just practice anytime you're doing scales or whatever. Just ask, can I use my pinky? And the more you use your pinky, the stronger it'll get. It's like everything in life, right? The more you use it, the better it's gonna get. Can you play 21 Guns? I could play 21 Guns. I don't know it off the top of my head. Yes, Rajashri. It will eventually happen. It's an inevitability if you practice and just keep going, you will get better. I think people underestimate how long it takes to get good at guitar, and they get frustrated after a couple months. They're like, how come I'm not good yet? Well, the reality is it takes years. So you gotta find a way to just enjoy the process along the way. Anyway, you guys, I got a jet. I'm gonna do my regular practicing now. Hope you have a fantastic morning, afternoon, evening, and like and subscribe. Subscribe to the channel if you dig this, and check out the free 10 essential guitar warm-ups course in the description. How do you bar all strings for the F chord? All right, I'll answer this last question real quick from Deadshot. So bar chord, I will tell you this, in 27 years of playing guitar, learning bar chords is one of my least favorite things I ever learned how to do. And I was playing on an acoustic guitar that was very difficult to play. So here's the way I practice this, is I have students just practice barring with their index finger. You want to get as close to the metal wire. Look, you can't even see the fret wire when I'm on. I'm not pushing on the fret wire. I'm directly behind it, but I'm so close to it. Like if you're back here, you're gonna have problems. And if you angle it, you're gonna have problems. You gotta get perfectly straight, and this index finger has to be completely straight. If you have this bend right here, which I see a lot in students, you're gonna get the thickest and the thinnest strings to ring, but nothing in the middle. So you have to flatten that joint. And look, here's what you do. You push the thumb forward just a little bit to be able to get that. And you just want to practice applying pressure. Double check every single string. Don't just strum. If there's something not ringing clearly, then stop and fix it. Then, alternately, you want to also don't practice it at the first fret. That F bar chord, practice it at like the 5th, 6th, 7th fret, where it's a little bit easier. And then practice the other half of the shape. Just open. Ooh, isn't that pretty? So you're not practicing the full bar chord. You're practicing the bar, and then you're practicing the other fingers. Do that 10 times. Take it off, put it back on. Same thing with the bar. Once you feel like you can do those easily, then start putting them together at a higher fret, and then start moving it lower. So that is how you do bar chords. Yeah, table salt, bar chords on an acoustic is a pain. So some acoustics are easier to play than others, but in general, yeah, it's terrible. Kunkel, best way to learn the notes of the fretboard. That's easy. You sign up for lessons with me. You can check out my 90-day guitar transformation course at unlimitedguitar.com. I'm really, really happy with my note memorization process. I've helped a lot of students memorize their fretboard. And essentially, you just spend 2 minutes a day working on memorizing your fretboard. And I have everybody memorize all the natural notes first. E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. And I make my students do it in less than 30 seconds. Then I have them memorize all the E's. Like that, and as octaves. You gotta do that in less than 10 seconds. Then we do all the sharps and the flats. Then I have my students memorize all the A's, the D's, and the G's. And then I get them in the habit of just, anytime you're learning a new song, say the names of the notes. Anytime you learn anything new, say the names of the notes the very first time, and then don't say them ever again after that. But you just get in the habit of naming things every time you pick up the guitar. And then over time, you start to just see, like, I can tell you the name of any note anywhere on the fretboard now. It's pretty sweet. So I could go like, that's a B flat, that's an A flat, that's a B, that's a G, that's a G, that's an E, right? And it's liberating to actually know all the notes on your fretboard. All right, cool. Thanks for the tip from Dartmouth. From Dartmouth. Cool. Darthmouth or Deadshot? I don't know. Anyway, bye guys. I gotta go. See you later. Have a great day.